has the authority to make fun of the Bible is me, because I did 12 years of Catholic school. I know all the funny parts. I know all. When I was a kid, I wanted to be Jerry Seinfeld, and I wanted to be like a stand-up comic like that. And let me tell you something, if you ever want to be a stand-up comic, might I suggest you get reincarnated as a Catholic school kid, because it's great. It's a great situation, because you got all day, they're reading from this crazy book, and then you got an hour at lunch where you're just sitting with 30 people, and you're like, what's the deal with Moses, am I right? That's what I was doing, and I'm not trying to brag, but it was fucking crushing, okay? Because that crowd is in need of a laugh. It's easy, it's an easy laugh. And it's just like, yeah, it's just, you know, I'm not trying to knock, there's some really nice parts of the Bible too, there's some really sweet parts of the Bible, I don't knock that, but there are some crazy parts. And if you're a comedian, it gets you right at the top. For a guy to laugh, make jokes. I remember first day one, I was 7 years old, first grade. Teacher's up there, she's like, okay. There was nothing, and then God made everything. First thing he said was, let there be light. And I was like, to who? What is he, Harry Potter? He got the wand and shit? Teacher didn't like that, ignored that, but the kids were liking this. That's how the story goes, the first story. Let there be light. Then he spends 6 days, he makes everything, all the things. He makes all the planets, all the solar systems. He makes all the mountains and the trees and the rivers and the oceans. He makes the elephants and the ants and a lot of mosquitoes, too many mosquitoes. Makes tomatoes. And he makes one dude, just one. Which is weird because there's a whole lot of stuff for the humans and the heaven and the hell and all that stuff, but he just makes one. He ran out of stuff, I guess. Then the teacher said he's so tired. Oh, he's tired. So he took a whole day, slept for an entire day. Crazy. Then Monday morning he woke up, he was like, all right, let's get to work. I guess I'll go talk to that one dude, that's the only person that talks my language. So. This is where the Bible started getting weird when I was 7 years old, you know, because he goes to talk to this guy Adam, you know, that's his one dude. And Adam's a little freak, okay? You know how I know that? I was 7 years old, man. The teacher's like, Adam says, God's like, hey, Adam, how's it going? Adam's like, make me a girl. Whoa, bro. You've been alive 6 hours, dude. Chill. I don't even know what that is. Adam explained kind of what he thought it would be. Same, different, you know, and God's like, yeah, his problem is, this is true, read your Bibles, kids. God is like, I'm out of stuff. I used all the stuff. This is everything I have. And I told you, Adam's a little freak. He was like, take one of my ribs. What? What am I going to do with one of your ribs? Anyway, I brought this song back. Told my friend I was bringing it back. He's like, oh, what's the first show in your tour? I was like, the South. He was like, that's going to be great. But they didn't kill me down there, so hopefully he won't kill me yet. This song's called Talkin, Leviticus Blues. Driving to a gig just the other day when President Obama, that's an old song, came on the radio and said marriage was okay, not just for the straights, but also for the gays, and like most Americans, I was amazed. Gay people have to get married now. Haven't they suffered enough? I figured fair is fair, I was cool with it. When I got to my gig, this guy told me the president was evil, said it was written all there in his Bible. I looked over his shoulder, I said, what book is this? He said, the almighty book of Leviticus. Check it out, John chapter 18, verse 22. No dude should lie down with another dude. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of what it says. I had gone to Catholic school, I had forgotten that little rule, so I borrowed his Bible, I kept reading on. I wanted to see what else Leviticus thought was wrong. So here's a list of some other things Leviticus thinks is wrong. I hope that's cool. take you serious? Are you too old? Are you still relevant? Oh, my sweet love is a kiss. Chapter 19, verse 19 says a few interesting things. It says, don't let cows graze with other kinds of cows. Don't plant more than one crop in the same field. And don't wear clothes made out of more than one kind of fabric. Pause here to let that sink in. Also pause because nothing rhymes with fabric. Chapter 19, verse 27 says you shouldn't cut your hair or shave your beard ever. I know to most of us that doesn't sound like much fun, but I got some hippie friends in California. They love that one. Verse 4 of chapter 20 says you should be stoned to death if you curse your mommy or your daddy. Verse 14 of chapter 24 says you should be stoned to death if you ever blaspheme the Lord. Ouch. I should mention there's a lot of stoning to death in this book. If any of my hippie friends from California are here tonight and they don't know what stoning to death means, come talk to me after the show. It's not what you think. Chapter 19, verse 28 says, tattoos are not allowed. God does not appreciate the tattoos. I was fine with it, but we looked over at his shoulder and he tried to cover it up, but I saw it before he covered it up. It's a big old tattoo of baby Jesus, sporting a full beard for some reason. Strutting across the water with a little caption that said, JC, the original surfer. He was like, ah, shit! Then we got to the big one, chapter 18, verse 22. Whenever two dudes lie down together, they should get stoned. I mean, in one way. Love it, a kiss. Love it, a kiss. You're in the Bible, so they take you serious. Are you too old? Are you still relevant? Oh, my sweet, love it, a kiss. Having fun reading and learning all this stuff when the guy grabbed his Bible and told me to stop, packed up his things, ran off real quick. It was the first time in history where a guy with the Bible actually forced someone to stop reading it. It was great. I'm not here telling you how to vote. I don't care what your religion is. I would just hope that people could get worked up over stuff like that. Maybe they can get worked up over stuff that's way, 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 way more important. Like feeding people, healing sick people, loving your neighbor, you know, no big deal. Just all that Jesus stuff. Yeah!